Welcome to this week's Monday Safety Training. With the weather heating up, this week's safety topic is heat-related illness avoidance. Heat stress, also known as heat exhaustion, and heat stroke are both issues for our projects. While heat stress left untreated can become heat stroke, these are two different illnesses. The training is designed to teach the various symptoms and the necessary response to heat stress and heat stroke. Heat stress is a problem where an overheated worker needs attention quickly. Heat stroke is an emergency where an overheated worker needs medical attention immediately. The symptoms of heat stress or heat exhaustion include cold, pale, and clammy skin, headache, dizziness or fainting, heavy sweating, nausea or vomiting, fast, weak pulse, weakness or muscle cramps, and excessive thirst. The symptoms for heat stroke include no sweating or hot, dry skin, confusion or delirium, body temperature above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, a headache, the worker may lose consciousness, hot, red skin, nausea or vomiting, rapid heart rate. The most obvious symptom differences between heat stress and heat stroke is that with heat stress, the skin will be cold and clammy to the touch. With heat stroke, the skin of the worker will be dry, hot, with no sweating. It is important to understand which of the symptoms above a worker suffering from heat illness is experiencing, as a response to each are significantly different. What to do about heat stress? Hydrate with water or non-caffeinated sports drinks, no caffeine and no alcohol. Move to a cooler place, air-conditioned place if possible. That may be a car with the AC running. Remove tight-fitting clothing or extra layers of clothing. Lie down. If fully conscious, sip water. Take a cool shower or use cold compresses. Place cold compresses on the neck, under the arms, or at the groin area. If vomiting occurs, seek medical attention. Act quickly. Untreated heat exhaustion can progress to heat stroke. What to do about heat stroke? Call 911. This is a medical emergency. Move the person to a cooler place. Remove outer clothing if possible. Use cold compresses, ice, or reusable ice pack wrapped in thin cloth to reduce body temperature. Place cold compresses against the neck, under the arms, and in the groin area first, then apply to the rest of the body as supply of cold compresses allow. Do not give fluids. When you call 911, if available, use a landline rather than a cell phone. Cell phone calls go to a central control. Your call may need to be transferred. Landlines go directly to the closest 911 operator. Cell calls needing the cellular 911 operator to transfer a phone call can add 5 to 10 minutes to the emergency response time. However, if a cell phone is what you have access to and there's no other landline to use the cell phone. Know where you are, both address and closest cross street. This helps emergency responders find you faster. If calling on a cell phone, they will not know the address from which you are calling, like they would if you used a landline. Describe the situation in short, clear statements and be ready to be interrupted by the 911 operator. Stay calm, listen to the operator, do what the operator asks. Stay on the line until emergency responders arrive on site. How to prevent heat-related illness. Better than reacting to a heat-related illness is preventing heat-related illnesses in the first place. Provide a lot of cool fluids close to the work area for the workers. At least 1 pint of fluid, water, Gatorade, or similar, no caffeinated or alcoholic drinks, per hour is needed on site. That is by regulation. Our disposable coveralls, respirators, and hats, hard hats or baseball caps, can increase the temperature of our bodies while we work. Removing street clothes below these protective coveralls can help reduce the potential for heat-related illness. Allow workers to leave the work area when a worker feels overheated, dizzy, or develops a headache. Supervisors must assure there is a cool area for workers to rest and cool down. For exterior work, like roof removal projects, this requires a man-made shade structure, such as a pop-up tent. not simply a tree or a building. Provide frequent drink breaks for the workers. Gradually increasing workloads to allow frequent breaks for workers new to the heat or those who have been away from work to adapt to the working in the heat again. Supervisors responsible to assure workers are not displaying signs of heat-related illness. Supervisors will need to call medical personnel at 911 if any worker is hot but has dry skin, is noticeably disoriented, has significant headache or loses consciousness, or is vomiting.
Alternative for when working inside a regulated area where it's not legal to consume water, workers will be encouraged to drink water, avoiding sugary caffeinated drinks like energy drinks and coffee prior to entering the regulated area. Janus will have a minimum of 4 cups of water per worker per hour on each job site for which the temperature is over 80 degrees on the outside project and over 82 degrees on an interior of building project. Projects may start with less than a full day's amount of water, provided additional water is brought to the site before it's needed. Workers who become thirsty or are feeling overheated should obtain water from outside the containment and consume it while in the center chamber of a 3-stage decon or just outside the regulated area when working on a roof or other exterior regulated area that does not include a decon system. Water should be consumed while workers are standing on a drop cloth when not within a decon chamber. Water for consumption shall never be brought into the regulated work area, but will be maintained at the entry to the contained or regulated areas. Supervisor responsibilities. Give workers sufficient breaks in a cool area away from heat. This may be inside or outside of the regulated area. Adjust work practices as necessary when workers complain of heat stress. Oversee heat stress training and acclimatization, getting people used to the climate they're working in, for new workers and for workers who have been off the job for a period of time. Monitor the workplace to determine when hot conditions arise. Provide potable, safe-to-drink water in regulated quantities, 4 cups per hour per employee. Determine whether workers are drinking enough water. Make allowances for workers who must wear personal protective clothing and equipment that retains heat and restricts the evaporation of sweat. When possible, schedule hot jobs for a cooler part of the day. Schedule routine maintenance and repair work in hot areas for cooler times of the day. Provide, when available, all workers cooling devices, hard hat liners, bibs, neck bands, to help rid the bodies of excessive heat. Discuss heat-related illness prevention at morning safety meetings on any day the temperature is expected to be above 80 degrees in the work area, indoors or outdoors. Workers' responsibilities. When possible, follow instructions and training for controlling heat stress. Be alert to symptoms in yourself and others. Determine if any prescription medications you're required to take can increase heat stress. Do not wear street clothing under protective suits unless necessary to keep sun from shining on your skin. When street clothing must be worn, wear light-colored garments that absorb less heat from the sun. Drink small amounts of water as frequently as possible, but not while within a regulated area. Avoid beverages such as tea, coffee, or sports drinks that have caffeine. Avoid eating hot and heavy meals. And do not take salt tablets unless prescribed by a physician.
Keys to avoiding heat-related illnesses. Training. Be sure all workers know the symptoms of heat stress and heat stroke, indoors or out, especially those where the working atmosphere temperature is 80 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Have plenty of water, Gatorade, or other non-caffeinated, non-alcoholic fluids for the crew. Assure all projects with a working temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit or more have a cool-down area. Thank you for taking heat illness avoidance training. Please proceed to the quiz.